How you doing, folks? I'm Mike. You're watching the Michigan Woodsman. Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to do an overnighter. Got a day ruck with me and go for a little hike to a nice little spot out here in the woods and do an overnighter. So stick around. Well, we're getting close to the spot where I'll be parking, and then from there I'll hike in. It's less than a mile hike. It's not really that far, which is good because I've been trying to get out here for a few weeks, but had a lot of different things going on. So this is the first day I've had a chance, and as my luck would have it, it is 91 degrees out right now. So for northern Michigan, that's pretty warm. It's going to be even warmer tomorrow, so not the greatest weather, but we'll make do. I was going to bring my dog today, but being as hot as it is and all that, we're running behind. It's already 5:30. I'm running way behind, so I ended up leaving him at home. I got a hammock recently, and I've only used it a few times, and usually if he goes out and sleeps in the woods, before I was sleeping on the ground, so it's no big deal. He just laid next to me. I'm going to be in a hammock, so he's probably going to drive me nuts throughout the night because he's not going to fit in the hammock with me. But anywho, just me, but we'll make do. Well, folks, we're here. Just got the truck parked, got my gear out, getting ready to throw it on and head out. We're only about a mile away. That's all I really want to hike today. It's, like I said, it's 90 degrees plus right now, so. That really doesn't feel too bad, actually. I don't know, carries pretty good. We'll see if I feel the same here in a few hundred feet. Well, folks, found a spot to camp. Got my rucksack and haversack hanging up off the ground. Bringing my canteen with me. I'm going to go for a short little hike to kind of check things out and see what we can see. I'll bring you along. We're kind of up on the top of a hill right now, looking down at. I'll have to get a little closer, make it a little easier to see. But we're right on a unnamed lake out in the middle of state land. I don't know, I have a topographic map of the area. I'll show you guys here in a little bit where I'm at, but the lake's not named on the map. It's not named on the GPS, and I've looked it up a couple other areas too. I just haven't come up with a name for the lake, but it is really nice. It's a private little lake. It's spring fed. It's by the North Branch of the Boardman River. The beavers got it dammed up pretty good. Last year when I was here, there was about 200 foot long almost like a wall with the water pouring over it, and then turn it into a little stream that hooks into the north branch of the Boardman River. But anyway, let's get down there a little closer and I'll show you guys what's down there. Probably end up walking by some here in a little bit, but the beavers are very, very busy over here. They've got a lot of stuff going on. There's one there, beaver hut, or beaver lodge, I guess they call them. Boy, it is nice and peaceful out here. So, disappointing thing is there is a burn ban right now. I control a little fire, but I'm not gonna do one. It's just not a good idea. It is very, very dry, very, very hot. It is kind of humid, but it is. I mean, everything on the ground is dry. The air is sticky, but there is an absolute burn ban going on right now. So I have a little stove I'll have to cook on. It's kind of hard to see with that grass there, but it is actually built up all the way around the back side of this thing by the beavers, and the water just kind of cascades over the top of it. It's pretty cool. Boy, these bugs are out today. How you guys doing? Getting ready to string up the hammock and kind of get camp set up, so figured now would be a good time to show you guys what I brought. So the Dayruck here, I've got my bedroll on it. That's just a Army issue, an old Army issue, 100% wool blanket. On the top, got Malcolm on his Hidden Woodsman Dayruck. Got the sleeve for your hatchet, which works out great. I really like that feature. Nice and heavy duty too. This is top quality stuff. Malcolm, when you see this, man, great job, great products. I got a handful of this stuff, and I like every bit of it. But anyway, hatchet in the hatchet sleeve. Up top, one of Malcolm's pouches. This, I just have my little hygiene kit. Just got a thing of wet wipes, TP, soap, toothbrush, toothpaste, and one of them little camp towel. I kind of did this at the last second just because I plan on eating steak, and my cousin was down in Texas and he went to this cowboy show that's kind of like a medieval times type setup, and they serve food on these aluminum platters, and he got me one, but I laughed at first, but I got to looking at it. This thing doesn't weigh anything. It's thin. And after I had everything packed and decided what I was taking, I looked at this and I think, oh, it'd be nice to eat a steak on that rather than any other way. So I shoved it in there and it fit. Didn't weigh anything. So usually this is not in my my kit, but I made an exception. There you go, Austin. Can't say I didn't appreciate it. Next up, another Hidden Woodsman possible pouch. This one's a Marpat. This just got paracord, headlamp. Let's see, some fixing wax. Just a little kit. It's got some fishing line and sinkers and some matches and all that kind of stuff. Oh, what else I have in here? here? Oh, got a couple different sizes of bank line. Yeah, just some random stuff. Well, this stuff is great though. I mean, that's heavy duty. Look at this. There you go. I mean, that's just some heavy duty stuff. Heavy duty stitching, heavy duty zippers. I love it. All right, so I'm not wearing this on my hip. This is my WC Knives WCSK. Awesome knife. We'll get to this here in a little bit, but the reason it's on my hips because I'm wearing my WC Knives Master Woodsman. I can't take this one off my hip. It's, no matter what knife comes along, this Master Woodsman, it stays right here. So, but I wanted to get a chance to play with this a little bit more. I started the spoon a couple weeks ago when I was camping in the UP. Let's see if I can get it here. The handle's extra long, just to make it easier to carve. I can hold it against my chest, have a little more to work with. But I'm gonna plan on finishing up on this little trip. I actually hollowed out the bowl of that spoon on the inside. I don't know if you can tell how much of a dip it is in the camera or not. With the pommel of this WCSK, I mean, that thing is razor sharp, that edge. You'll see how it throws sparks off a ferro rod here in a little while. Alright. This little cook pot, little bag of them instant loaded baked potatoes. It's going to go with my 2 steaks I brought. Brought a couple fillets. This is, I don't know what brand it is, Snow Peak titanium cup. I like this cup. This is what I usually make my coffee in that in. But on the inside I just have a bottle of honey and a bottle of olive oil, some aluminum foil, and some paper towel. A couple good items. That oil works for good to put on the meat to get the seasoning to stick. It's good for maintenance on the knives. I always oil my knives with olive oil or something along them lines so it's food safe. I don't ever use any chemicals or oils or anything like that because I know I'm going to be using it on food. So. But a handy little cup. I don't know if you guys got that on the camera, but I've literally never run into anybody out here. I'm out here a ways, and I just heard some music in the distance from the other side of the lake. I can still hear it a little bit. Guess we'll wait and see. Someone's gonna be surprised because I'm not making all the noise they're making, so we'll see. But anywho. I'll show you the inside of this pack here in a little bit when I reset up the camera. But I had to unload it to grab my hammock out anyway, and I wanted to show you guys what was in here. I didn't want to have to load it all up just to turn around, pull it back out and show you. So anyway, this is just my, I think this is the Superfly by Warbonnet. In my hammock is the Warbonnet XLC. Warbonnet Blackbird XLC. It's the double layer on the bottom. It's a heavy duty one. This thing is awesome. I've only used it a couple times. First time I used it was down in Alabama. I went down there for Blackie Thomas's Woodsman gathering. It was a really good time. But yeah, I used it down there and slept great. The thing is awesome. So we're going to be using this for a little bit. My poor dog's probably not going to like it. He likes sleeping next to me. Now I'm going to be in a hammock, so we'll see how that goes.
got my firebox. It's the 5-inch. I think it's G2 5-inch. I think is what they call it. Folding stove. This thing's great. This is one of Malcolm's Hidden Woodsman Bushcraft or Woodscraft seat. I mean, it's a piece of material with some sleeves in it. Really, there's a sleeve up top, and then you run your cord through there to hang the top. And the seat, it's got a bigger one. You stick a limb through or something like that. Make a, you know, like a little bushcraft seat. If you guys are watching this video, you know what a bushcraft seat is. Weighs nothing. Nice little comfort. Not really necessary, I guess, when you have the hammock, because I'm more likely going to be rocking in the hammock. Not this right now, but it definitely has its uses. You can use this for a knee pad on the ground if the ground's wet. There's a lot of different things. I've seen people string them up side to side, sit in them, kind of like a hammock seat. You know, you might set up camp, but put this in your haversack if you go out to scout or do this or do that. Something like this nice to have because you can just string it up real quick and just sit down on it. I got one of these wax canvas bags for a folding saw from Campcraft from Jason Hunt. Thing's really nice. I don't use it for my saw because I don't have a saw that size, but it works perfect for these little aluminum stakes. I know some of you out there are thinking, Mike, why are you bringing your stakes when you can just whittle a couple up real quick? Because I'm lazy, that's why. Alright. Well, that's pretty much it. I'll show you what's in the haversack and what I have in the canteen kit here a little bit when I get this thing set up. But I'm going to go ahead and set up the camera in a different spot. And got this tree on the one side I'm hooking my hammock to. It's got a lot of dead limbs on the lower portion. It's just a pine, but it's got some dead limbs on the lower portion. So I'm going to clean them up real quick and string this hammock up. Alright guys, camp is set up, so I'm going to reposition the camera. I just had to back it up here so you guys could kind of get a look of how it's laid out. But it's just a Warbonnet Blackbird XLC with, I think it's a Thunderfly. I think that's what model that is. But anyway, it's all set up. I'm getting ready to sit down for a minute in the hammock, and I'll go over what I have in my bag. How you doing, guys? Well, let's see what I brought out here with me. Well, I pretty much already showed you guys everything that was in the day rock. It's by the Hidden Woodsman. Everybody knows who that is, so no explanation necessary. But anyway, I got my military blanket, as I told you before. Got my first aid kit on the side. Just hangs on the side. That's kind of handy. It's got all this MOLLE webbing on here, so you can attach about any type of pouch or kit that you have. Holzbruck, I don't know what model it is, just Holzbruck axe, or hatchet, I mean. It's a nice one, I like it, it's perfect for me. And my buddy Charlie made me a really nice mask for it. It's got a ferro rod holder in the top. You see a ferro rod, I got one in there. Slides in the top. It's got a belt loop, so you can wear it on your belt if you want. That's nice. I'll zoom in on that here and show you guys this. We're taking a closer look at it. See that? That is nice. It's got the ferro rod holder in the top. Got a nice little snap on the back side. I love this. I love this hatchet. It's nice. I really like that sleeve on that rucksack for that. That's handy. Now, the other one I have is this. This is my WCSK by William Collins. My buddy Charlie made this sheath as well. This is a spot for an easy lap, actually. But I keep it in the one I'm wearing right now with my Master Woodsman. But you can see, got the ferro rod on this side, easy lap on that side. Altoid, got a spot for your Altoid tin in there. I keep one of these Victorinox mini steels. Work great for honing the knife. But even got the old Michigan stamp for the Michigan Woodsman. Look at that. There you go. Pretty nice. Show you guys this knife if you haven't seen it before. It's WCSK by William Collins. That is an awesome knife. We'll get into that later on in this video, or maybe in a different one. But if you don't know who William Collins is, and if you don't own one of his knives, I highly recommend it. But I pretty much showed you guys all the kit that was in here. We got Possibles pouches from Malcolm. But just to give you a look at the inside of this bag, there is lots of storage options. There's a bottle holder on each side, flap in the back to tuck stuff in. You could put a water bottle or a water bag in there, like a of course I'm going to forget what they call them, but hydration pack will slide right in there. It's got a zipper pouch up here in the front for miscellaneous stuff. I got a thing of them disposable biodegradable wipes in there. But anyway, this isn't no kit review, guys. I'm just real quick here, just showing you what I brought along. Hidden Woodsman haversack. Never had a haversack before. Never carried one, but I'm glad I did. And just so happens, right after I got this thing, Blackie Thomas started doing a haversack series, so that was pretty cool. I don't really have it loaded up for that, guys. I just threw some stuff together at the last minute here. This isn't really well thought out, to be honest with you, but I wanted to get out here and do a trip video real quick and get some footage for some content to put on the channel. I'll get a little better plan together and get some things whipped into better shape. I was carrying around like a Marine Corps ILBE rucksack, and that's awesome. It has the assault pack with it, and I had the hydration bladder and all that, and that's a great pack, but it's more than what I need right now. So this day ruck, I've had it loaded up, took it camping with me, but this is the first actual woods camp, first time I've actually gotten any real dirt time with it. So but it's great, it's high quality. But as far as that goes, as far as not being prepared, I got to do a little study and a little research and come up with some better rigs for rigging up the tarp faster. I want to get one of them skins that I can just pull it out real quick and easy. And then on this fly, I would prefer to have a ridge line and then have the fly attached to the ridge line with little prusiks or something, so I can do a quick adjust. But I don't have that set up. I'll get to that when I get a little time. But anyway, back to this. I had to throw some coffee in there last second. Man, I would have died in the morning if I didn't have my coffee. I would have been out of wrecked the camping trip. Now this right here is the fillets. I got them in a Ziploc and then inside of another Ziploc with a bunch of ice just to keep it cold. After that melts, I'll have nice fresh steak and some cold ice water to drink up. Just a couple pair of leather gloves. A little DEET. Man, these bugs are bad. I put some on, they're not bugging me now. Little pouch I got from Randy Smith over at Stitch Gear Outfitters. Nice little cinch pouch. I just have my Sawyer Mini in there. Perfect size for this kind of thing. This one's my handheld GPS. I know exactly where I'm at. This isn't really necessary. I brought this just because I'm going to be doing a little scouting around, and I can snag pictures of any sign or anything I see, and it'll save it in there, and I can pin it right where I'm at, and you guys get the idea. Also, that was also a pouch from Randy at Stitch Gear. This is just a little shemagh. Everybody knows what a shemagh's for. A little 9-hour candle. That's for later on. Those things are great. And that really will burn for 9 hours too. That's not an exaggeration. Got one of these little Mora. I think it's a little Mora Companion. The carbon one. Just a little. I just keep it in here just as a backup. I mean, not that I need it. I've got Hatchet WCSK. Oh, hey. You guys see this little feller? Yeah, check that out. Almost forgot. WCNK, William Collins neck knife. It's a little companion to the knife I just showed you. This thing, I'll get to this in a little while, but this is my neck knife. This thing is awesome. I use this every single day. I always have my Master Woodsman on my hip, like I showed you guys in the fire starter video. Boy, it's hard to get up there to the. There we go. I'll get it up in there. Anywho, never go anywhere without my Master Woodsman. That's always on my hip. So I have that. Have my neck knife at all times. But I just keep that in the haversack just because you can't go. What do they call that? Redundancy. That's right. All right. Also, for my fire kit, I have a little flint and steel kit in there with some char cloth. This little thing is great. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these. Probably. My buddy Randy Smith over at Stitch Gear Outfitters makes these things. It's a tinder bag, tinder pouch. It's pretty waterproof, water resistant, I guess you'd say. You could submerge this thing for a little while, probably at least a minute or more, without the contents getting wet, because he's got really awesome beeswax treatment that he does to his leather work, and this is treated in that beeswax. And essentially, while you're out and about hiking around on your way to camp, you see any flash tinders or any birch bark or fat wood or any combustibles, load it on up into here. I don't know, let's see if you can see just a bunch of birch bark in there right now, but look at that, and that's great. Get that stuff stuffed in there, fold the top over, fold the flap down like this, and then just roll it really tight. You know it's waterproof because you can't hardly squeeze the air out of it when you get to rolling it up. But just wrap one direction, wrap the other way. I should probably do that in front of the camera. There we go. But anyway, guys, that's what I keep my my tinder in. Now I don't usually, I'm not the kind of guy that really packs up a bunch of tinder and all this stuff to have it with me and that while I'm out and about, but I bring this thing with me, and if I come across something when I'm hiking, you know, when I'm out and about, I'll go ahead and load it up, throw it in here. Keep this in the haversack, you just have it with you when you're out and about scouting. So like now I got camp set up, and I'm probably going to go rooting around for a little bit of, not much firewood really because I can't have a fire. I'm just going to cook in my firebox. So I mean, it's literally within throwing distance from here to find something like that. But typically, if you're out and about hiking around, just have something like this in your bag, in your haversack. Comes in really handy. You fall in the water, you can, unless you spend a lot of time in there, there's a good chance you're going to have dry tinder inside of this thing. It really is a great product. Boy, this is starting to sound like a review, but it's not. I just want to show you guys what I'm using here. I did bring a book to read, get a little downtime. In the front of this thing, I just have some maps, topographical maps of the area. Well, that does it for the, that about does it for the haversack, really. And then what else? Now this canteen kit, man, I really like this Mother canteen carrier and the heavy cover canteen. Pricey, but just like any of this stuff, it's pricey. Hurts first time, but it's worth it after that. You won't ever have to replace it. This is heavy duty stuff. Like this right here. This is my Mother canteen carrier. I'm sure you guys have seen these before. This is nothing new. I've got my compass. I had a compass and Ranger beads in here. A Silver Ranger. Let's see, there you go. Silver Ranger, some Ranger beads, pace count beads, whatever you want to call them. Alright, so first off, in this thing, got a couple homemade fire starters. Got a video on that. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. They work great. I got a map of the area I'm in my canteen kit. So it's right there with my compass. Inside of this, I have one of them little throwaway emergency blanket and an emergency poncho. Doesn't weigh much, doesn't take up much space. That's a big old 1/2 inch by 6 inch magnesium bar, 1/2 inch by 6 inch ferro rod. If you can't start a fire with that, you got some issues. Alright, so side pouch. I got one of them crooked awls from Pathfinder store. Self-Reliance Outfitters, I guess is what they're calling it. But a little silky pocket saw. I like that thing. Got a ceramic rod for honing the knife. Another Victorinox mini steel. And then a Fall Niven DC4. So I got the stuff to maintain the knife out here. On my Master Woodsman sheath, like I say, I always have a way to start a fire because I have the fire starters there with a ferro rod, and then I have the Easy Lap diamond sharpener on there. So I've got what I need for field maintenance for the blade on me at all times, so that's nice to have. On this side, let's see here. Little medicine bottle. It's got a little kit in there. It's got Gorilla Tape wrapped around the outside. Use it for a million different things. You could patch rain flies, patch hammock, patch pants, shirt. Start fires with it. Stuff's very flammable. And then on the inside, I have some pre-made snares, char cloth, light anywhere, strike anywhere matches. Hooks, slip shot, fishing line, just a lot of random little items. And then in here I have a hank of I think that's number 36 bank line, bigger stuff. That stuff's great. Tarred Mariner's line or bank line, that is good stuff. Just careful where you get it from. Some of the stuff's kind of a cheap knockoff and it's not really tarred or it doesn't have much tar on it, but that one came from Self-Reliance Outfitters. That's good stuff. And there's places online you can get it. Now for what's in here, everybody knows the heavy cover canteen. Another one of those items, expensive, but well worth it if you can afford it. Cup. Lid. Brillo pad. Got a hanky. You filter the big chunks out of water with that before you run it through your filter. Just kind of cuts down on clogging that thing up. I got oatmeal, 2 packs of apple cinnamon oatmeal, and I got just a random assortment of these little drink flavorings. That way, you know, just because you filter water and clean it up doesn't mean it tastes good. It might be clean and safe, but it doesn't mean it tastes good. So we got some bad tasting water. You always tear one of them open, throw it in there, shake it up, and good to go. Plus, it's a nice little pick-me-up to get a little sugary drink in you. But, oh, I almost forgot. That is a Firebox Nano, a little titanium stove. So this is actually a really great kit. I've got the canteen cup, the canteen, the cook cup with the lid, so I collect water, boil water, clean it. I got the stove to clean it on. It's one of them little nanos. You guys seen them? Another square of foil. I tuck these heavy duty squares of foil. I'll take a real big piece, fold up nice and tight, and I just stick them around everywhere. They're handy for a lot of different things, whether it's cooking, food prep, you know, there's a lot of different things you can do with it. But that's handy. So I've actually I've got my water in here. I've got a cook kit. I've got a way to produce more clean water. Got a way to make it taste a little better. Got a way to clean it up. Got a way to start a fire. Got saw. Got knife. All that stuff right here. A little snack. So that's a lot of stuff in a little kit. Alright guys, it's time for me to cook up some dinner. I am starving. Need to get this fire going so I can slide my boots and shoes off. Sit here and watch the steak cook. Alright guys. Well, this Firebox, you guys gotta get one of these twig stoves from Firebox, man. I really like it, it's awesome. The only downfall is it weighs a ton. But it's versatile. I mean, you can do a lot of different things with this. But it is heavy. I wish they had one in titanium. I don't know if it would just be too pricey or why they're not doing them in titanium. Maybe it's too pricey or maybe just too much heat. Pieces that big, I don't know if they're warp or not. I don't think so, but there must be a reason they're not doing it. Alright guys, I went ahead and used one of those fire starters in here to get this thing going. Really don't just be the easiest way for now. Prefer to be using a regular fire for this, but we'll make do with this. Show you how much sparks this thing can hog off. This knife's got the sharpest spine on any knife that I've ever had. Got it. Thing really hogs off some sparks. Well, time to put the steak on. Let them coals calm down a little bit. That fire got a little bigger than I anticipated. Alright, little guy on. And then his big brother. Look at them bad boys. Got a little Chicago steak seasoning on there. A little olive oil. Gonna be eating good tonight. Well, I think I'm gonna work on the spoon a little more. Man, that cut's good. So I just take this leather lanyard there, move that out of the way. That thing really removes some material. Switch around like this, there we go. Yeah, if I was to have one of these custom, I'd see if I could get William to make a little more rounded on this pommel. I know this wasn't necessarily his intention when he did this, but it certainly works for it really well with that spine as sharp as it is, or that edge. But it gets in there. It really, I mean, it's moving material big time right now. That's a pretty deep bowl. I don't think you guys can, I don't think you could tell. Maybe if I do that, yeah. I mean, look how sharp that, I don't know if you can see that. I mean, that tip, I mean, even right there at the tip, it really, boy, I wish I could get the right angle. I mean, that, right at the very tip, that'll sit there and shave like you wouldn't believe. Oh, man. Yeah, I have several Williams knives, several knives from William Collins, WC Knives LLC. It's got a website, YouTube channel, I think even Facebook and Instagram. But anyway, you gotta look this guy up. Get yourself one of these bad boys, or a Master Woodsman. You won't regret it. This is the sharpest knife I've ever owned. This is even sharper than my Master Woodsman. It's just unreal. Great knife. Oh yeah. These look nice. Playing with this knife, this is a joy to use. It's very, very sharp. It's got like a sweet spot right in here. I want to say it's 11 degrees all the way through. It might be a little steeper than that, but all the way through. And it is sharp. It's got a really, really sharp point too. The way it tapers right here, it stays thick coming in from the sides, so it really adds a lot of strength to the tip. But like I was saying earlier, that tip is just unreal how sharp that is. I mean, it'll just eat through stuff. Spoon's most of the way dug out. I mean, it's plenty dug out. I just got to smooth off the edges now and take more material off the backside. Maybe do a little more work on the handle. Alright, time to check these sticks, guys. Well, guys, my steak's done. I'm gonna have to sign off. My battery's dead. I got about 10 seconds probably left. The thing died on me and I don't have a way to charge it.